All right, hey everybody, Mark Burgess here, Big East Bass Fishing, bringing you another video. And this video is going to be about forward-facing sonar, okay? Question, are you getting beat by forward-facing sonar? Well, I am, okay? So I know we've done a lot of videos on this. You guys have been great interacting with these videos, giving me your thoughts on forward-facing sonar. Seems like it's just a long argument, right? It's been going on for a while. So I want to kind of have just an open conversation about it, and you can let me know your thoughts. Okay, so in the past, when talking about forward-facing sonar, I did not have forward-facing sonar for the longest time. I had an open mind about it. I enjoy the way I fish. I have my strengths, if you will, my confidence baits, my strengths. I have a certain way I go about breaking down water that basically dovetails in with that. Okay, so it's been a great system. It's worked for me for a long time. And as you know, if you've seen the past videos, I do have, I've always had side imaging, okay, Humminbird side imaging, and I've had 360, Mega 360 for several years now. So, and I absolutely love that. And Mega 360 shows me all kinds of things I never knew were there, exactly where they are, how far away they are, where exactly they are off the boat, so I can make an accurate cast to whatever that may be, weed bed, log, rock, you know, what have you. It's worked well, okay? I've talked about, you guys have asked questions, great questions about, you know, should I buy forward-facing sonar? Should I buy it and use it and learn it? And we've kind of broke that down in the past to, well, I mean, who are you fishing against? What trail are you fishing? And are they allowed to use forward-facing sonar? Okay, so I made a few points about, listen, if you're fishing a club tournament trail or even maybe a state trail, whatever trail it may be, doesn't matter. There's 5 million of them out there right now, and tournaments every day. Are you getting beat by it? Is the competition using forward-facing sonar in those tournaments that you compete in, and are you getting beat by it? Okay, if so, you know, I've recommended that you have a couple options, right? So you're in a trail that and they're using forward-facing sonar, and you're donating now. Okay, so they're taking your money. You have a few choices. You can buy forward-facing sonar, learn the technology, and mix it up with them. Or you can leave that trail, go fish a trail that does not allow forward-facing sonar, or the guys in it are just essentially not using it, okay, for one reason or another. So in my particular case, you know, I fish a lot of Bass Nation tournaments, more specifically Mass Bass Nation Pro-Am tournaments. And, you know, given the time of year and the body of water, you know, forward-facing sonar would definitely rear its head and be right there, and guys were winning, you know, tournaments with it. But, you know, not to the point that it's gotten to here recently. Okay, and this prompted me to do this video with you guys. Okay, so last weekend, I think it was, yeah, we fished like the third stop for the Mass Bass Nation Pro-Am tournament, and forward-facing sonar was responsible for first and third, okay, that I know of, and it could have been a few other places as well, which, you know, doesn't really matter at that point because I ended up finishing towards the back of the pack, okay? So doing my thing there, my process is on a lake that I have a lot of really good history, like 30 years of fishing and one of the anglers, you know, you can make the argument if you picked 5, 6 guys for that particular body of water, I would be in the conversation, okay? So it did not work, okay? The fish were in a funk. We had literally a cold front hit right at 7 o'clock. Like when I got there at like 5 o'clock in the morning, the weather was absolutely perfect. Very fishable, very fishy feeling, warm, humid, and the front was still right, it hadn't come through yet. 7 o'clock, boom, you could tell that, you know, the temperature dropped, the wind changed, and things just tightened right up, okay? So, and as did the bite. The guys fishing forward facing sonar had a lot of bites. They were able to see the fish, how they were reacting under those conditions, okay, which I had no clue. I can only assume, right, and this is a whole nother conversation, but I just assume that I'm putting my bait in front of a lot of fish, and they're just not biting it. So I'm doing everything that I've learned to do, leaving the bait in one place for a long time, extended period of time. I'm trying to get a reaction bite. I'm going finesse. I'm going through the process, right? I'm fishing everything that's in front of me, almost junk fishing, and then trying to put a pattern together. Okay, so I'm super shallow. I'm shallow. I'm medium depth. I'm fishing offshore. I'm fishing offshore rocks, offshore weeds, offshore rock and weed, some wood, docks, drops, and 2 bites. 2 bites. Leading up to that, I was down there with Lisa for a few hours, 3.5 pound fish. I went down for about 6 hours ahead of the tournament, pre-practice, like 6 hours, something like that, 6, 7 hours, 2 bites. So definitely didn't put it together. I didn't know what the fish were doing. I assumed they were just being tight-lipped. The guys using front-facing sonar could see the fish, how they related to the cover, and could watch their bait, make a presentation to the fish, just like if you were watching a bedding fish, okay? You're reading body language, you're watching how that fish is reacting to your bait, to you, everything, right? So you adjust accordingly for that fish. That's what they were doing, only looking at those fish in the screen, okay? And they were able to dial in their presentation, catch, 3 limits of fish, cull up, and have a decent weight, okay? So the other point I wanted to make is going back to, the trail you fish. If you take the 3 major trails, if you take bass, you take MLF, the NPFL, all right? We'll start with the NPFL. As you know, they banned forward-facing sonar. I can't use it. No worries, right? You go into that tournament like there's 110 guys, whatever it is, 105, 110 guys. No one's using forward-facing sonar. Not a single competitor. You don't have to worry about getting beat by forward-facing sonar because they're not using it. Right? Simple. Do your thing. Do your thing. Apply the years of knowledge that you have. Do your thing. MLF, as you may or may not know, they allow you to pick the period, like the period they have within a day, each day, whether you're going to use forward-facing sonar or not. On the periods that you're not going to use forward-facing sonar, they put a lockbox on your transducer. Can't use it. All right? So that's a little bit, open-ended, because it's not like they say, okay, period 1, nobody uses forward-facing sonar, or period 3, no one uses forward-facing sonar. Period 2, you can use forward-facing sonar. So it's apples to apples. It's not that way. Okay, you can decide, whatever period you want to use it, and the other anglers they may be using it when you're not. Okay, but at least in your mind, okay, this is the period that I've designated. I'm not going to use forward-facing sonar. So you do your thing, all right? And you don't worry about it because you can't use it, okay? Bass, on the other hand, wide open. Now, not for 2026. We did a video on this, and there's more details coming out almost every day. on exactly what they're going to do. And I'll research that out for you if you haven't seen anything yet on it. So, yeah, you had a mix of guys, mostly, you got a handful of guys, right, with bass. You've got, I'll break it down maybe in quarters, okay? You got a quarter of the guys, maybe not even that many, but a quarter of the guys are like gurus. They could teach a class on using forward-facing sonar, how to set it up, how to approach fish, how to present a bait to the fish, what you need to do. Then you got the next quarter of guys that have it, that use it, that have caught fish on it, that they'll go to it if they have to. It's on while they're doing their thing, and if they see a fish, they'll throw at it and they'll fish for it. You got the guys then who have it, who aren't really that good at it. They haven't perfected it yet, so they're not using it that much. It may not even be on. They might be using traditional 2D sonar, side imaging, 360, what have you. Then the last group of guys, the John Coxes of the world and the Greg Hackneys, they could care less what they're doing, all right, with it. They don't use it, and they do well. They hold their own. Are they getting beat more often than not with it? Yes. And you especially see that what they're just about to go north now, the northern swing. You'll see that even more. Okay, so that's where I am at that point where I have it, as I've mentioned, and I'm going to need, if I'm going to continue to stay fishing the Pro-Am tournament trail for Mass Bass Nation. We have a really tight points race. I was kind of like keeping myself in contention into the last tournament. That's definitely going to be my drop. So I got 2 more tournaments plus the state championship that applies for points. If I continue to go forward fishing this trail to get to the nationals, fish a qualifier, whatever, basically get to the nationals, finish in the top 3. Currently, that's what it is to qualify for the Bassmasters Classic. As long as I'm competing with the guys that are using it, and I'm still trying to go old school with it, I don't know if I can get there. Okay, so I'm right where I told you guys other people were at when we first started doing these videos on forward-facing sonar. I'm there. I'm that guy now. Okay, so I have a choice to make. All right, and I got to think it through, to be honest with you. But if I want to continue to compete against this group, and they're hammers, I mean, they catch them regardless of forward-facing sonar. But with that tool, you got a day like we had last weekend, and yeah, that makes the difference. That makes the difference. So that's going to require me to really do some deep down thinking and decide whether or not am I going to embrace this technology? Am I going to use this technology? Now, ironically, the 2 guys that finished 1st and 3rd, great guys, good friends, fierce competitors. They've both offered to show me and have talked to me about it already, some of the little ins and outs of forward-facing sonar. Okay, they're just good guys. And I really, I appreciate that so much, okay? And that's why I fish with this group, just a great group of guys. One of the guys has offered to take me out in the boat, my boat, with my equipment, and dial it in and use it and give me some of those pointers. And obviously I'm going to use it against him in some of these tournaments, okay? But that right there is just fantastic, okay? So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking about. Let me know your thoughts on this whole topic again and where you're at. Have you decided to fish a trail that doesn't have it or allow it? Are you still fishing a trail and getting your ass handed to you? Are you going to acquire the equipment and learn the technology and try to go toe to toe with the competitors in your trail. Let me know. I'd really appreciate it. But I will let you know what I'm going to be doing here pretty soon. I have another tournament coming up that is on the same body of water, and you know, for the first time, I'm like, I mean, we've had a different week of weather, and I know what I know, but I'm at that point where I'm like, first time, like, right now, I don't have a clue where I'm even going to start. Okay, so I really need to think about that. It's a team tournament. Lisa and I are fishing it together. So I'm going to need to start somewhere and let it unfold from there, but I want to try to put myself in a good place early on so that I can, you know, expand on it and, you know, basically evolve, let the pattern evolve and come to me and then run with it. Okay, so that's the video for today. Again, I appreciate everybody checking it out, and we're going to see you on the water. Of course, we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. We're doing really well with the channel, though. And as a reminder, I've been pretty diligent now for quite a while for posting a video on Tuesdays and Fridays at 6 o'clock. Okay, so that's what I try to do with a short in between. So keep your eye out for that. All right, everybody have a great day, a great weekend, and we'll talk to you later.